Hey, good morning, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, doing all right. Great. Really glad to have seen your movie Street Trash. And on behalf of LRM, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for the interview today.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure.
Awesome. Yeah, congratulations on such a great film. It is I had a really great time watching it. It is um I don't it's disgustingly beautiful and it has a lot of heart. It's a great time.
Cool, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a lot of fun making this type of film. I think it was almost going back to my childhood with all these like 80s prosthetics and blood and gore. So I think anybody that watches this movie, I think they can see that we had a lot of fun making this movie, you know?
Definitely, it looks like a lot of fun. There's a lot of gore, colorful gore, and yeah, it's a really great time. Let me ask, what made you want to remake Street Trash?
Well, that's the thing. It's more Street Fighter. It's actually more of a sequel, and I've seen this from the start. I think the press started to say that it's a remake because we have the
Right.
same name.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's in the same world as the original. We actually mention the original in the film, so it
Nice.
is for me. It's always been like a sequel in that same world. For a new audience, it can be a standalone film, and then for the fans of the original, like myself, it's more of a sequel. You know. So originally, Justin and Matt, the producers, approached me to do it, and I was like, "Cool, let's do it." And I started writing the script, getting ideas together, and I wanted to make it completely different than the original. I wanted to, send nods to the original and stuff like that, but have a new flavor and have those stronger characters and people that that is fun to watch and having those characters, which is very important because I think there's a lot of films out there in these genre movies that don't tick those boxes, that you don't give a shit about some of the characters, and it's important to like the characters and enjoy the characters and go along the journey with these people and let them be likable. And obviously for me it was very important that when you look at the original film, it's like, what do people like from the original film? Obviously, they love that it's old school New York. Obviously, I wanted to do the Cape Town, South African thing in the same world just later on. And then obviously the prosthetics, the multicolored goo. Obviously, that's a big thing about the original. And I really wanted to make sure that we do these very 80s prosthetics, different color goo. Obviously, it was very important to have that in camera effects. And then and to top it off, I think the whole thing that we shot on 35 millimeter, I mean, that made a huge difference as well. It brought that also that like 80s feel. And, there's not enough films these days that have those in-camera prosthetics. I mean, it's always split with CGI or cut so fast that you don't even linger on it or see it. And for me, I think it's going back as that kid sitting there in his room watching these, Nightmare on Elm Street or Bad Taste or whatever, Evil Dead, and just going back to, seeing that prosthetics. It's fun. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be gross. It's meant to be, and it was so good, sitting at the New Beverly Tarantino cinema watching, two screens that's sold out and just people watching it and getting it and laughing at all the right moments. So it was awesome. It was a great feeling, and I had an amazing cast, I had an amazing crew to pull this off. And as I said, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun making this. I think if we just carried on, we just would
It
have
would have been a
carried on.
trilogy. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. You can see those character moments throughout the film, and I was surprised because it really has a heart. It's a friendship and everything, and
Yeah.
like it actually tugs on your heart. It makes you laugh
It's
at the
so, you
same
know what?
time.
It's so important. And this is why I said it's so important that you have these characters. I mean, somebody can look at Fry Barry, my first film, and go, oh, it's just going from scene to scene. And there is a structure still there. It's still very open and experimental, but the structure is still there. And there's a lot of heart in that movie. And with this film as well, it's important that we like these characters and it's important that we feel for these characters. It makes all the difference. I just don't see it enough in some of these genre films, and it's very annoying. So I really cast this movie right and well that we care. Like, I'm not going to do a spoiler, but when somebody does happen to die or whatever, we feel for them, and you're like, oh no,
Definitely.
it's
It's so
this guy,
emotional.
and it, you know what I mean, and it's got to tug in those heartstrings, otherwise. It doesn't work. And you yourself
Right.
saying that, it's so good to hear. And the screenings that I
True.
have been to so far, that people are there going, you just hear people in the audience going, oh no, oh
Yeah.
no, why?
When that character
So
bit the
it's cool.
dust, it was pretty sad. Yeah, I won't spoil anything,
Exactly,
but
man.
folks have got to
And I
check it
think,
out.
yeah. So it's definitely important to have that, because the thing is, that's just the box that it should tick on every fucking movie,
For sure. Yeah, yeah.
And then obviously, apart from that, we got to have the gore. It's important to have
Right.
the blood,
That gore is there.
but you got to have the story as well. You got to have a good story, and you got to have good characters.
Nice, nice. Okay. I like the way you laid that out there. Did you let me ask you, did you have a favorite scene to shoot that included the gore? Because I was watching them and I was just jotting down like, oh wow, I haven't seen this sort of gore before. Or I mean, it reminded me of the scene from RoboCop when the guy's melting, but in mass, and it was great.
Yeah. I mean, when I look back at, even with Fry Barry or this, there's so many scenes that I enjoy. When it came to the prosthetics, it was very obviously, when you're shooting, it's very technical. It's like, okay, we're gonna get this angle, and then we set it up, and then action, and then all the blood comes out or whatever, and then we've got a B camera getting that at the same time, and then hopefully it goes well. And if not, you got to reset, which takes another hour or however long it takes, and then we move. So it's everything is obviously like broken up. So there is some scenes more fun than others, but I think when it comes to some of the melts and the action, it was obviously the climax of the movie, it wasn't any of the main melts, but it was I mean, I had fun with all the melts, but
Okay.
I really enjoyed directing all those action pieces
Oh,
towards the end, because it was
sure.
it was just fun to coordinate, while this is happening, this is in the
Right. That was
background,
great
this is in the
action, by the
foreground,
way.
this
I
is,
mean, yeah,
yeah.
it was on par with
Yeah, so
not
that
to
that
interrupt
that
you.
was a lot of fun for me, just to coordinate that. It was a lot of fun. And again, breaking it down when you're doing the like a main melt, it's very time consuming, but at the same time, you concentrate on one specific little
Right. There's all
bit,
these pieces that
whether it's just
gotta,
the neck, and
right.
yeah, and then you put it all together, then you put it all together and you watch it and you're like, whoa, that's
That's
fucking cool.
crazy.
And
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
happens at the same time.
Nice,
You know,
nice. Got another question for you. One of my favorite characters in this film, Sokol. Did you do the voice for Sokol?
I did,
Oh,
I did,
nice. All right.
I
Pretty
did.
cool, man.
It was that character was fun, and it was one of those where I didn't want to overdo it. I didn't want to overdo that character, so I think I did it just enough in the film not to be annoying,
True.
and not too little. So I
Right.
think it was just enough, and it was fun because the whole thing with Two Bit and Sokol was just great. That he's always seeing
It
this
was perfect.
imaginary
Yeah.
character. So yeah,
And
it was a lot of fun, and again, it goes back to the '80s films to have this little animatronic slash puppet,
sure.
there. So I mean, again, it plays that homage to like the '80s films again that we never see in movies anymore.
Right,
So
right. That's true. You definitely nailed the vibe with the 80s aesthetic, and Sokol's a great character. And I was surprised because he even has there's emotion in his story as well. Like they're still
yeah.
tugging on heartstrings. I was like, what is going on here? You know? So it was a good time watching it. Now you're talking about all the time on the set and everything. Could you share any specific memorable moment? Is there something that stood out to you from filming Street Trash?
Uh, honestly, it's so hard to say. That there's again, I love doing all the prosthetic stuff. I mean, that's fun. It's more fun to see it all starting to come together that you meant to capture. And again, with the action scenes, it's very much again, and working with the actors.
Nice, nice. And yeah, I commend you again on this great job. It's a fantastic film. Where can folks go to check it out, and when is Street Trash out and available to the public?
If I'm not mistaken, I think there's a few dates that's getting thrown about, but I think it's hitting tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow on Screenbox. If I'm not correct, it's if it's not tomorrow, it's next month. It's like soon. It's like really soon, and
All
I
right.
think it goes on Apple and other platforms. So, but yeah, if you just search for it, it will be there.
Super. All right. It was great talking to you today, Ryan. We're going to get the word out and get this interview out so folks can check out Street Trash, and hopefully they have as good of a time as I had and the other viewers have, because
Amazing,
it's a touchdown pass to the 80s, man. Congratulations.
amazing. Thank you so much, man. Much appreciated.
Anytime, man. You have a great day.
You too, man. Cheers, dude.
See you.